Good evening and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in your part of the world. I hope you're having the greatest of days. All right, tonight we're going to dive right in to a lot of exchanges are currently blocking U.S. residents, even if they previously have had accounts with them. So I believe they know that regulations are coming. I feel that obviously they would have to know, talking with FinCEN, IMF, etc. They have to know that the new rules are on the way, which for, I believe, investors is going to be a great thing because we can finally get this moving. We can finally get it into run. We can finally get the adoption, finally get liquidity. We can finally grow the partners. They can finally come out with their NDAs and tell us what's happening as investors. But let's go right into this. U.S. customers to be blocked from trading on Binance.com. This is a little bit older news because obviously it's already happened. If you had a Binance account and you were from the U.S., I think we had about something like 4 to 6 weeks notice. It was pretty fair notice. To move our crypto off that account. And I believe unofficially, if you went beyond that time, they obviously didn't lock it up. I don't think for many people. I've heard stories unofficially that they were still currently moving their investments off of the Binance. CZ is an amazing guy. He loves the XRP community. And if you are new to the space and you are unaware of CZ, check out his history. Maybe we'll do a show on that, on the history of the content that we're covering, who's who, and maybe we'll even label it that. That might be a fun show to dive into. But CZ, he really does love the community. Amazing guy. Either which way, we're going to dive into the next. Altcoin crypto trading acts for Americans as Bittrex follows Binance. There are other ones that I haven't mentioned yet, but just to keep tonight's news very brief and to the point, for example, off the first part of this story, news that the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume, Binance, has curtailed services to U.S. customers, sent shockwaves across the crypto community yesterday. Today it is the turn of Bittrex, which has followed suit by announcing that certain markets will no longer be accessible to U.S. clients. So now Bittrex is following them, and a few others are following them as well. What I find, again, to reiterate what I mentioned previously, I just really believe the reasoning for this is the world kind of follows the U.S. Love it or hate it, if you're unaware of that even in this living and growing up into the United States. The international markets in the world follows just how it is. We have the most strict guidelines and regulations on the planet, and then basically if the U.S. agrees to it, the whole world is up and running, and 99% of the time they're up and running around us until they're approved here. So again, to sum that up, my thoughts with this is that there's regulations coming and they know when. I want to get into another section because there are a lot of new people. There's places, suppose this is what's going on. Suppose the regulations shuts down a lot of favorites, a lot of places that you can't get specific coins and currencies. Then we'll have to deal with U.S. coins. So let's get into that. I've pulled up something for 18 different places in the United States that you can buy Bitcoin or currencies. You'll have to check each one. Everyone has their favorites. Coinbase is probably the best if you're absolutely brand new. You'll pay a little bit more in fees, but it's really simple. It's like a one-click purchase, a one-click exchange, a one-click sell. It connects directly to your bank or PayPal. I'm not going to go through the descriptions on every single one. As always with every show, the information will always be in the description below. feel free to do further research than we may discuss here. Just trying to keep the time constraints into a little bit shorter, tighter, brief, direct to the point shows. I believe there are a lot of other great live shows. You have Alex Cobb, you have CKJ, you have totally blanking, To the Lifeboats, you have I believe it's Free Coiner, you have totally blanking. There's a few other ones out there. Love them or hate them. Those guys all have extremely great content. If you're new to the space, you have different types of content providers on the space. You're going to have, for example, like our show, we're showing you the information, or we're just discussing it, making it easy if you're driving or working, or if you're just sitting there able to look at the show while we're doing this. But if you want the live stream, everyone has different content and gives their different approach and their opinions about it. So I think it's really exciting. You would definitely want to, if you're in the XRP community, check all of those guys out. Some you may clash with, some you may instantly just absolutely love. One of the greatest, you'll have like Digital Asset Investor. You'll also have guys like Kevin Cage, full of energy. And again, back to Digital Asset Investor. He's a really, feels like part of your family. He just goes into discussions. He discusses things with you like you're a forever friend, like someone that you knew for a long time. You'll have guys like Jungle Link, a show similar to this, but he also does live streams. You have Crypto Eddie, who is actually in Japan, so you'll get a different perspective. You have Modern Investor, I believe he's from Germany. Check all these guys out, see who fits, and see if you're getting different information or more information that you're looking for, and different coins. Everyone kind of has their favorite. Obviously, we discuss typically 4 different here. Mostly XRP is our most bullish coin. We just love that. Beyond as investing, the technology it's life-changing. I mean, it's generational changing. It's amazing. Part of, as Mark Carney says, it's part of the 4th industrial revolution. It's exciting. If nothing more than the technology, I find that one to be absolutely exciting. It's amazing to see it grow, beyond from like the 2009 period. I believe it was OneCoin or OpenCoin. You can feel free to comment below. I'm off the top of my head, I'm blanking on that one, but it's been around a while. And then it became Ripple. And XRP used to be called Ripples. There was getting a lot of confusion with that. You had Ripple, the company, and Ripples, the currency. So then that was changed to XRP, which is great. And if you understand XAU, like for example, you have gold relates to X. You have silver relates with an X. You have XRP. X typically means it's not connected to a country. If you've been around the space for a long time, you're just going to, I'm preaching to the choir, so to speak. I'm telling you information you already know, you're familiar with, but I'm also speaking to the new people. So I'm going to be blending that. So if you're familiar, you're going to be used to me sharing old and new. But I think everything that I share is very important. Okay, let's go back to this. Didn't mean to ramble on too far beyond that. Okay, the 18 in the US, you're going to have Coinbase. You're going to have CoinMama. You're going to have Coinbase Pro. Then you're going to have CEX.io. You're going to have local Bitcoins. BitRefill, top up your mobile phone in the US with Bitcoin. I'm unfamiliar with that one. I'm not sure. Then you have Wall of Coins. You have BitQuick. You have Gemini. Obviously the twins, the Winklevoss twins. Bitstamp. You have Kraken. You have Athena Investor Services. Liberty X. I apologize if you're looking at the screen. I might be swiping too fast. I apologize. Bitcoin ATMs. Bitcoin BTM, Itbit, CanCoin, Mycelium Local Trader, Changelly, and then what's great with this article is the history of Bitcoin in the U.S. I'll let you do that on your own if you're interested in more of that. One that wasn't on the list but is another new. I'm not entirely familiar other than the history of Robinhood. But Robinhood, you can click on products. All the way over to the right, you have crypto. Then you have here, you have your Robinhood crypto, buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and other cryptocurrencies 24/7 and commission free with Robinhood crypto. So those are basically, even though the previous list was 18, add this, you have 19 options. If you're new to the space, let's go back to that page just to bring it back up. Apologize, I'm going really quick just to get to the top. Okay, you have Coinbase. One down here too, Coinbase Pro. If you're familiar with Binance, Coinbase Pro is going to be like really similar to that. You have the options of trading, etc., and it's really technical. If you have a Coinbase account, you also have a Coinbase Pro account. Obviously, be very careful when you log in. The accounts are connected. It's your same information. Whatever you use to log in, you'll log in there. And again, all of your information, keep absolutely private. These companies are never going to ask you for passwords or any of your confidential information. Hate to say it, but it is one of those things where you're still part of the pioneering of a new currency, of a new technology, of a new industry. It's really uncomfortable to not trust people. As an instinct, you want to believe and trust in everyone, and that's why there are a lot of people out there who take advantage of that. But at this point, just to make you aware, keep everything confidential. They're never going to ask for passphrases or any of your key phrases, no keywords. They're not going to ask you to send them any of your currency or any of your private information. That will always be private. Okay, now back to Coinbase. It is simple, but if you have a Coinbase, you have a Coinbase Pro account. You can log into each account with your same information as if there is no difference. Coinbase is your basic, and 99% of the people who have a Coinbase account, they also have the mobile app on their phone to log in and out of Coinbase. It is the most basic, most simple, most easy, but again, you're paying for that with your fees. Even, for example, the first thing popping out on this page says Coinbase charges 3.99% fees for debit card purchases, but you can get your coins instantly. And yes, you can. It's instantaneous. It's immediate. You sync it right up to your bank account. You press one button. Be very careful with that, and also be aware that when you do your preview, obviously be careful. Make sure that your numbers are correct. If you're wanting $10, 10.00, confirm it, and then push purchase or buy. So check your preview. Be very careful. Double check it, and then click your enter button again. Also, too, when you're doing that, make sure if you're looking to do a reoccurring, basically like an auto debit without having to think about it, set your limits on there. I suggest if you're new, do not use that option because it's going to instantly debit whatever you set up, reoccurring, instantaneous, without you ever having to think of it. Many people prefer each exact order to type it in so they control that. Okay, we're going to move on from there. There are your exchanges if you're new to the space. And for example, if you're not even aware and you've been here for a long time, maybe you've used one or two of these and you're like, oh man, where do I turn? All these foreign accounts or foreign exchanges are closing, and some people are having to make an adjustment with that. So you have these 18, then you have Robinhood. All right, I'm going to finish off this immediate video with a very exciting thing, which many of us also believe in this community. The CEO of Coinfield, Bob Ross, says, I love to think XRP would soon become global reserve currency. Again, stated the Coinfield CEO. I'm going to go in this very briefly, and then we'll move forward. Newslogical had an exclusive interview with the Bob Ross, Coinfield CEO, a Canada-based cryptocurrency exchange that recently launched an XRP validator and Sologenic, a platform facilitating trading of on-demand tokenized assets on XRP Ledger, the XRPL. Coinfield aims at using Sologenic to create a bridge between the stock market and cryptocurrency while leveraging XRPL to ensure swift execution of transaction via Sologenic. About 30,000 stocks and ETFs like Tesla and Apple will be tradable on the XRP ledger, XRPL. Guys, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I am going to swipe these screens instead of using the mouse, because I think it runs a little smoother if you're paying attention to the screen. But again, if you're driving or working, rewatch this video or share it later. Be safe. Okay, while the exchange's token Solo will be used to connect the stock market and cryptocurrency, the token is paired with fiat and used as collateral. Hence, stock will be converted to their Sologenic tokenized stablecoin version, such as TSLA for TSLA. Sologenic will be available in 193 countries. That's pretty big. In this interview, the CEO discussed what birthed the creation of Sologenic, the reasons for choosing XRP, and what he sees XRP achieving in the next few years. You recently announced the launch of Sologenic, built on top of XRP Ledger, XRPL. What's your reason for choosing XRP? Great question. XRP has been proven to be the fastest and cost-efficient blockchain network in the industry. In the meanwhile, XRP Ledger provides all the tools to create a financial ecosystem for a modern era. What birthed the idea behind this Sologenic innovation? I've been trading stocks and ETFs since my 20s. About 3 years ago, I decided to diversify my portfolio and invest more in the crypto market, but that was not easy. I had to sell my assets on the brokerage platform, wire transfer to my checking account, and again wire transfer back to the crypto exchange. This took 8 business days, and I had to pay a lot in fees. By the time the money was in the account, the Bitcoin price was skyrocketing, so I lost the investment opportunity. This is how the idea came up. Do you foresee any hindrance from SEC? Unfortunately, Sologenic is not available in the USA at this moment until SEC can come up with much clearer guidelines in regards to cryptocurrency, IEO, and crypto ATS. Sologenic would open XRP to huge adoption across the finance industry. What do you see XRP achieving with this push? Where do you see XRP and Sologenic relationship in the next 5 years? I've seen the XRP community get very excited with a crypto exchange putting XRP as their base currency. Within the Sologenic ecosystem, all the tokenized assets like stocks and ETFs are tradable only against XRP or Solo. This is simply like pairing 30,000 stocks, ETFs with XRP and Solo. So you can imagine what kind of significant volume it will bring daily when the project is live. Coinfield uses its crypto Solo to serve as a bridge between crypto assets and stocks or ETFs. Stock or ETF can also be converted to a tokenized stablecoin version of Sologenic, tradable and redeemable for XRP. With this, do you see XRPs becoming a reserve currency? Give me one moment. I'm going to grab a drink really quick because my throat is drying out. My apologies. Okay, I'm back. Throat just dried right out. I love to think that would happen soon, but we have to be realistic. There are many different aspects that are involved in setting XRP as global reserve currency, like governments and banking systems acceptance, regulations, and so on. I think XRP is on the right track to facilitate and modernize the traditional bank transfers with strategic partnerships and their day-to-day developments. Ripple Labs and XRP will undoubtedly revolutionize this industry very soon. I'm going to take one more drink. My apologies. Excuse me. Solo is built on XRP Ledger. Does that mean that the coin is solely dependent on XRP? Solo is not dependent on XRP. However, it can be stored on the same XRP hot or cold wallet. Solo Card is emerging with the ability to spend cryptocurrency anywhere around the world. Do you see this card replacing banks' credit and debit card in the future? The idea behind Solo Cards is to allow users to spend their tokenized assets in real time, anywhere in the world, free of any commission fees. The goal is to have people switching to Solo Cards instead of using the traditional credit and debit card. So that is the brief interview with Bob Ross, the CoinField CEO. And again, his statement, I love to think XRP would soon become global reserve currency. I'll finish off with my input on that. We know it's most likely going to take over the remittance, global remittance everywhere. But the rest of the world's not even going to know. They don't know SWIFT today. They're not going to know XRP tomorrow unless they're an investor today. So if you are an investor, count yourself extremely lucky that someone brought you in, that you found this, that you researched and learned about this, and that you are a part of this exciting new adventure. I too would have to agree with Bob Ross on that. I believe it will become a currency. Could it be just the United States? Could it be everywhere but the United States? I don't see that happening. I believe it would have to be on the pathway that we're on right now. If it stays on this cycle that's happening with the currencies, I could easily see it being a U.S. currency plus remittance plus the new to come industries that they're working on, gaming, etc. And how easy would that be? Because it's already a digital currency into the gaming world. I mean, that's not even like a major effort for them at that point. All right, I'm going to close this video off. I wanted to share those with you, that many of the exchanges across the world are closing off to U.S. customers. I believe it's the regulations. And then again, I provided, if you're new to the space, with many U.S. exchanges that you can check into, including the most simple, most basic of the Coinbase. You may have the most expensive fees, but you get what you pay for, and it is simplified if you don't have time to learn, you have a busy schedule, big family, whatever the reason is. And I wanted to finish off with the Bob Ross, CoinField CEO interview, because I think that is huge, especially with all of the excitement in the community today. Again, this is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm hoping that you're having the greatest day ever. Until the next one.